Hey there, it's CJ. I am on my way. Uh, Actually, I would say I'm on my way to uh, the gym, but I'm actually on my way to the bus terminal, and then I'll catch a bus and go to the gym from there. But yeah, I have. Well, this time next week, I'll actually be on a boat, and so I got like 1 week. It's time to like do the best that I can do. This time at the gym, I'm going to start out with a little time in the tanning bed. I know too much sun for really fair skinned people like me is not good. So I will go easy, maybe just half time it instead of like 12 minutes, go 6 minutes or something like that. But I've got a self tanning that has like a tingler sensation or whatever, so that's kind of cool. Start with that, and then what's cool about it is that because of the sensation, the idea, it's that it's like it stimulates the capillaries in your skin to bring blood to the surface, and supposedly it's supposed to tan a little bit better, or whatever, than the traditional like tanning bed lotion. This is a tanning bed lotion. I do have this. It's not a self tanner. I thought it was, but the self tanner that I have is at home, and it's something that I use a little bit every day. Gets me a little bit. It's very gradual though, and it's called hemp lotion. That's the name of it. I don't know that it's got any hemp product in it or whatever, but I've used it a few times. You just have to think about that, is that you have to maintain it because your skin exfoliates, and so yeah, it's like any kind of tan, but yeah. Uh, and the only reason is because I'm going to be in the tropics, in the Caribbean or whatever, so I just don't want and I don't want to be the whitest thing on the boat. Does that sound horrible? Once I went to live in Miami, Miami-Dade. I lived all over, mostly in Homestead, but spent a lot of time in South Beach and everything. And so I come home 2.5 years later, or whatever it is, and I go down there very, very pale. I come back awesomely tan, and I come back to Shreveport, and it's like, damn, there's a lot of pale people here. But yeah, so it's kind of cool. So yeah, just about a week, and then of course I get to do a little time out in the sun, actually on the boat or whatever. If it's not, I think what it is if there's rough weather in the route of the Caribbean and everything, I think they kind of just like reroute, sail around it or something like that. So it's kind of fun. I'm excited, and we'll spend one night in New Orleans, and yeah, it's all Gucci. I didn't know that we were spending the night in New Orleans. My friend kind of sprung that on me, not yesterday, but the Monday before, that he had a room. And I'm like, all right. What I did not know was that he was having someone else, some lady share the room. And I'm like, that's cool. I'm going to keep my things locked up in the car, because I got like everything. I don't want to share a room with, it's not even about sharing the room with someone that I don't know. It's just that I'm an active person at night. And if I try to share a bed with someone, I'm going to keep them awake all night. They're not going to get sleep. I'm not going to get sleep. Nobody's going to get sleep. So I had that talk and said, listen, don't worry about it. It's cool. I get it. You're the one driving, and you need to have some rest before we wake up and go just one more hour to the boat. It's not even like an hour to the boat. It's like the where he's staying It's like 1 or 2 blocks up from the port, and on Canal Street. And it's like, I'm just, I had taken care of myself overnight in New Orleans several times. There was one time I took care of myself in the French Quarter, not overnight, but over several months, So I think I'd get through like one night, sitting in a coffee, having some city diner coffee and some of their hotcakes, by the way. And you just, if you get a triple stack of city diner pancakes, they will last you all night long, and you will be taking some home at the end of your vacation. That's how much food that is. But anyway, I'm on my way to the. I forgot how to talk. I feel a little bit of a sprinkle coming down. Today is the first day of fall. It's the fall equinox. Salute to you. And that's cool. Actually, looking back, it was an okay summer. It was a very hot summer, but most of it was just hot. It wasn't like the mantle was melting the crust of the earth. Heat wave kind of hot. We did okay. We did okay down here. I hope you guys had a great summer. I hope that you have a good week coming up. So, Friday, gotta do, I get to do the Red River Revel, visit with my sister and her partner and some people, some friends, whatever. We're gonna be sitting around watching Pantelis perform, and then I'm really gonna have to get the hell out of there because I gotta go a couple of blocks up the street for Rocky Horror Picture Show, and will put me getting there. The show starts at 10:30, so, and the concert that I'm at is going to end about 9:30, 9:45, so that gives me a good 45 minutes to get just a few blocks up the road. So I've thought about it. I'm going to be okay because Pantelis, she's going to take the stage about 8:30. She's going to play scheduled to 9:45. I'm assuming that she's going to push on through, and if they'll let her, and do a couple of encore numbers, or it depends upon, because it's a public event, a festival, they may have, hey, you've got to be closed down and out of there. Your patrons have to be leaving, and you have to be closed for business by 10. So, I don't know how loose that is. Sometimes it's been a little looser than others. Oh, I walked right by the Municipal Auditorium. I get to go. I found out that a friend of mine has tickets for this rock opera thing, and it's taking place at the Municipal Auditorium. I'm so excited. And apparently he had like a zillion tickets. We were just at a group, and he was like, hey, whoever's got, he came across them, and I'm like, you know what? I love stuff like that, My entire thing, my life is, there's 2 parts of it right now. Hold up. I'm changing shoulders for my bag. Okay, so there are 2 parts to my life. One is this, where I get out and I do stuff. I know this is not exciting, but I, go to concerts, shows, things like that. Get away and do stuff. I really come alive kind of in the fall, And then there's that other me that all I do is sit around the apartment. And either way, I'm pretty solo. I'm a pretty solo kind of person. I did kind of decide that that I like. It's really fun to get out and have things to what do you call it? Yeah, it's good to have a running mate, someone to share stories and have fun with and everything like that. So that's kind of cool. So, but also, the running mate, the partner, the best friend and everything like that doesn't necessarily have to be a crutch. I'm very much a people person, but that also is like kind of sort of true and kind of sort of not. I'm sometimes a people person. I'm a people person with my kind of people. And that's quirky people. I need people who have quirks, who are unusual. You know. I don't know. What do you guys like to do? What is your fall looking like? I've got some things lined up for my fall that's going to be good. It's going to coast me through the because I have a couple of things. The Red River Rebel, and then the cruise, and then the concert. I have a friend who's got a new apartment. I want to spend some time doing kind of like a housewarming kind of thing with him. I don't know if I'll have like $1 zillion. I know that I won't. But I want to do a couple of little things, It's the first time he's been in an apartment by himself in a long time, so that'd be kind of cool. So, yeah, and then we get around to Halloween. I don't know what's going on, but I do know I will not be in my apartment. Oh, I forgot, before Halloween, next month, there is, how did I forget this? Film Prize, which Prize Fest we do every fall, and it started out being a film festival and just kind of like expanded. We give away for this type of venue the largest award, the largest cash for the winner of the Prize Fest, of the short film festival and everything like that for its type. So that's kind of cool. And then, but we also have the same thing for comedy, music, food, any kind of artistic thing. It's kind of there, So, this does not count as film, I don't think. Well, for one thing, it's not film, it's video or whatever, but that's how most people really do. That's how most people make movies anyway. What do they still call it film when it's not really film, it's digital? I don't know. But Prize Fest, yeah. And then so that's how literal my mind is. Do they still use film? Is it still film? And I suppose sometimes they could, for an artistic, if that was that first run of these buses, and there's like 4 or 5 night run buses, I may be at the bus station for about another hour. We'll see. They run a lot slower in the daytime. I am totally out of sync with a lot of the world today, and that's okay too. By the way, doing really good with my not smoking. I'm not even wearing a nicotine patch now. Because the whole idea of smoking is also not to just replace nicotine, but to, with the patch or chewing gum or something, but really, honestly, the Jungle Gym. It'd be cool if they had, they probably don't take my insurance, but that would be cool. I wanted to talk about this. High gravity glassworks. Cool. So, there's a lot of these glassworking things. I think I've talked about that But it was nighttime when I was coming back. Need to get over there and explore one day. Anyway. Also, my rent increase is going to happen in November. So that's a story that's going to be quite affordable, still very affordable, but definitely going to be like it's going to require tightening of the budget, and where my budget is all used up except for the entertainment part of my budget, and that's going to come way down. But aside from that, boo-hoo-hoo, right? I will still be able to live, still be able to have some quality of life and some enjoyment and everything. So that's, we're good. We're good. Yeah, need to go. I like to walk and get out and walk. This is part of my exercise. When I get there, I won't have to do cardio because I walk through the neighborhood and stuff. So I don't really worry about cardio at the gym too much. And something else I don't worry about stair climbers. How you doing? Hold on. So, never any reason to be mean. But you just have to look out. God wanted to know where the sports train is, but it's right where he just came from. And then, of course, blah, blah, blah. Sure, I'll exchange some conversation for a minute. And then it's, can I use your phone? And then, of course, I got to give a really good answer. Well, sir, I'm right in the middle of making a video, and I can't do that because I'm not going to interrupt the video that I'm making for a phone call. And I do apologize for that. But no. But yeah, never just let someone hold your phone and use it. I mean, if you know the person, yeah, but there are a lot of times that someone will just take your phone, put it to their ear, make a phone, and just walk off. And it's like, are you going to chase them down over a phone? That kind of stuff. And you know me, I would. But you just, if anything, you tell the person, no, you can't use my phone. I'll put it on speaker and I will dial the number and you can speak to somebody on my speaker phone. If you feel like doing that, that's fine. But yeah, you really just want to be, and he's probably fine. He probably would have just used the phone and handed it right back to me. But there's something quite suspicious about someone who, see, he's not even walking in the direction that I told him to walk in. So he wanted to know where sports train is. Hang on. Yeah, he found it. I was like, okay. There's a sign over here that they're going to open up and have like kind of a sports train station, like a waiting where people can go and have lunch. There's going to be like, I think for the drivers and employees, there's going to be like a fitness center and everything. And I support that. They spend all day long behind the wheel of a vehicle. And I know from driving, when you spend time behind the wheel and all you're doing is sitting down, you will get, shoulder pains and everything like that and everything from all the driving. But also you'll have a tendency to just constantly eat fast food behind the wheel of your car. And you will end up getting bigger in the fat department, than what you wanted to around the midsection. So, but yeah, there's always people that'll come up and they'll say something and be nice and say hello. And you just, in a town that's kind of like Shreveport, it's I live downtown and it's nice and everything, but it's not a big metro area. And so it's not the kind of thing that you can't really afford to just be mean to people. You know, you can't just be like, get the fuck away from me, dude. You can't really be mean like that, because you just never know who's going to turn out to be somebody. You just never know. And so, curious thing is, I'm going to be here early for the buses, because they do come in about once every hour and 15 minutes. And so I'll be able to chill out for about 45 minutes or whatever after this walk. When I finish the video, I'll look at my time and see what's up. But yeah, because the bus schedules. But I can tell you this, they absolutely never really run on time like they're supposed to. The only time they run like they're supposed to is when they're making their last run of the evening. Except then, as you may know from some earlier videos, except the last run of the night early in the morning, they don't go all the way back to the terminal. So, yeah. They'll take you 2 or 3 stops away from that final stop. So, you know. I'll go ahead and cross here. I'm jaywalking. The sign says do not, but it's upside down, so I guess it means enter. That should be a weird signal for some down low, under the cover person that just wants to be super discreet about their activities, if you know what I mean. Anyway, okay, so I'm gonna post this video, and then it's probably something with me and the gym having to do with that, and probably something on the way home. So, you know, you'll get some content tonight. Same old normal stuff, but bear with me. By Friday, we'll be doing Red River Revel. Monday, we'll be doing New Orleans, CJ style. Oh my God, you know. Yeah. It's fun. It's fun. I love that city. But the truth is, I know that it has been super hyper gentrified, and it's not. It's definitely not what it was in the early 1990s when I discovered it as a young adult. Although I'd been there, like the very first time I knew New Orleans, that I'd been there, I was with, my dad was working there, offshore or something like that, and we were set to go pick him up. And so we were living in Amelia, Louisiana, a very small town. So small that the city that it's next to is not a city, it's called Morgan City. Morgan City is about the size of Dodge City. I kid you not. All of it is right there in front of the docks, and that we had a hamburger place that served hamburgers out of a trailer. There was in Amelia, there was a Burger Time, not a McDonald's, a Burger Time. That was fun. We had the Burger Chef meal instead of Happy Meal, but it was cool. And then, yeah. What else? I do not know. But I can tell you my dad was working, and we had to go pick him up. Now, my mother, uh, the last time I really saw her driving, we were living in Shreveport, and she had a wreck on the interstate, a pretty rough wreck. And then the car that we had, they replaced it. No, it was a something. I don't know what she was driving. But then there was another wreck. She had another wreck. And this was the station wagon with the paneling and everything that you saw in the Vacation movie. It was like that. She had another wreck, and this just 3 days later, and this was a wreck with a chicken truck. That took some time. But that was the last time that my mother had really driven anything, and we didn't have I don't know what it is. My father was working, and we were supposed to pick him up in this place called New Orleans. I had no idea what was going on. I thought there were two places. I thought there was a place called New Orleans, and I thought there was a place called New Orleans, because I was repeating the first grade, and that is because I have been to 1, 2, 3. I was in my that first run of first grades. I was in 4 different schools. I transferred 4 times at first grade. So you don't you transfer that many times in 1 year, and you're that young. You do not develop emotionally. They don't really care too much about your academics at that point. They care about whatever. But it's okay. It's fine. I repeated the first grade, so did really, really well after that. I was, it turns out I was kind of grade school advanced, but I think everybody is almost advanced in first grade, right? Like if you were in first through 5th grade, and this was what they still had a 6th grade. My sister, no, they didn't. Yeah, they still had 6th grade. My sister was in 6th grade by the time we left there. We started out, I think she was going into 4th grade. But anyway, I don't know, whatever. Blows my mind. Anyway, I had to brush my tongue. I did some, I've got this Crest mouthwash, and I brush and then gargle and everything like that. And the last thing I did before I left the house was gargle, and so it kind of like bleached out my tongue, and I'm terrible about it. I need to get that thing that scrapes your tongue. I need to do that. What if I go on this boat and I meet like the guy of my dreams, and then I talk and he sees like that my tongue is chalky because I used a whitening mouthwash and didn't totally like get the residue, you know what I mean? Then he's gonna be like, oh my god, ugh. Anyway, at least my breath is not like gagging right now. Yeah, no. I don't know what I was talking about. I'm just killing time. If you're in elementary school, and you're doing anything less than A with the occasional B, and the only thing you should be having trouble in, and the only grade that should be poor, should be conduct. Don't let those teachers push your ass around, kids. Yeah, like listen, dude, I'll respect you, respect me, but we're here, but I'm not your fucking trained monkey. Give me the work, we'll do it. Blah 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 blah. No, it's cash, right? I'm just kidding. I was a good boy. My thing was, we had this thing they called it acting up. You're acting up. Well, the first thing is I couldn't pay attention. He daydreams. I daydream because I can't pay attention because it's boring, but also I had this issue paying attention, to things. Like if you have watched this video and it's almost 30 minutes, like here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go, there's 30 minutes. If you have made it to 30 minutes of this bullshit, you probably do not have an attention disorder. But so should test. I thought they should take this, they should show my videos and say, if you can watch this, dude, you're good. You don't have an attention disorder. But I'll tell you something, get me interested in something. Find me something that's interesting, and I'll focus in on it. So it's an attention disorder, but yeah, it's also a discipline. There are sometimes I have to discipline myself. Sometimes it's a matter of learning something beyond the rudimentaries. The rudiments. Rudimentaries. Something is rudimentary if it has rudiments. So to conjugate, because I did pay attention, some rudiments. To learn beyond that. To learn a topic beyond that. You know, to learn beyond the building blocks. To learn the applications of the basics. You know, the rudiments. Not to get too rudy about it, you know, but yeah, then it's like maybe you'll become interested, and if you get someone interested, you got their attention. If you get me interested in something, I'm yours. Fascinate me, educate me. The secret to my heart is through my mind. That being said, I love a brilliant, smart mind. I don't love a brilliant, smart mind that has to prove it because it's got this huge ego. We can't both be that goddamn immature. One of us has to have some kind of pride that's true and secure to take the ego and not be so giant with it. And yeah, that's not going to be my turn in this next situationship that I find myself in. If I find myself in one ever again, it's not going to be my turn to be the smart, decent person. I've done that. I've been the mentor for a little bit. I'm bored with that. It's not my true nature all the time. You know, I don't know. It's like, ugh. You would be interesting if such a thing exists. An actual peer, an actual equal, you know. But that's not reality in relationships, is it? There's never someone doing 50% of everything and somebody else doing 50% of something else. Or in a menage a trois, there's never someone doing 33 1/3, someone else doing 33 1/3, and somebody else doing 33 1/3. And we don't know where that ever ends because there never is an end to 33 1/3. You cannot ever come to the end of 33 1/3. That is why, by the way, you get some math from this conversation. You get some relationship advice. I'm not a licensed counselor or psychiatrist. And yeah, but hey, yeah. Yeah. 33 1/3. Yeah. That is why thruples never works out. Never works out. There you go. You got some comedy. Okay. Let me post the video. Love you guys. Ciao, Bella.